Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Opinions New by Dr. Frank Tianche and Frank. And my topic this in this episode is Election 2020, an open test by the divine. Okay? Um let's start by a little story of mine. I experienced 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I was on the faculty of Drexel University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and in Philly, right? And our school business, we have building a school business building, Matheson Hall, sits right on the Market Street, the main street of Philadelphia. Right? And if you stand on the building, in the building, so school business building, you look eastward, look at east, you see the Philadelphia, the city hall, the skyscrapers, the whole landscape. You see that not too far from campus, and also in the center city of Philadelphia, near Chinatown, Philly Chinatown, there is a big market, indoor, underground indoor market called Reading Terminal Market. It's very classical, look, and it's old, and it was built in 1893, right? And he said that there are over 100, merchants, vendors, shops, in the market, basically selling everything you can imagine. A lot of good stuff like food items, homemade gourmets, etc. Right? He's also said a couple of those merchants actually has been continuously running their business in Reading Terminal Market, for over 100 years from the very beginning when the market was established. The family has been continually operating that till today. So that's quite awesome. Right? I still remember the first time, I went to the market. It's huge. I was so much attracted, impressed by the atmosphere, the environment, the atmosphere, and also by the way, everything is like classical American, and going back to those early years American, and also the in the air you smell cheese, homemade those cheese, coffee, fresh baked bread, sausage. It was just a place, wonderful place. People, tend to walk slowly, wander around, have a good time there, and have a lunch or buy something. What I found the most interesting was those vendors, those or stores, or kiosks, not kiosks, the vendors, vendors run by Amish people, Amish ladies. There's these ladies, they dress in all black, all black suits or dress, and with the white, common white hair dress, on the hairs, on top of the head. Okay? And they're just they are so unique, and they're so, how to say that, they show a big contrast, huge contrast with those of other people, and also, of course, other people in Philadelphia. It's just seem to be they're coming from nowhere, and suddenly they have this group of people there, right? And they're selling their food items and other things, handcraft items, and quietly under a busy, noisy city. And also, you might have heard about this, west of Philadelphia, there is a Lancaster County, sorry, and it's said to be the major place for American Amish people. Right? I had always been trying to go there to spend some time, to visit them, But I also heard they don't really like, outsiders just be there to peek into their lives, to disturb them. So I don't want to become, I didn't really want to become an unwelcome guest, so I didn't go, but I really wanted to go. But still, until I left Philadelphia and joined my current school in South Carolina, I never get a chance to go. But nonetheless, for these people, the almost like ancient American early immigrants, people there are staying away from modern society. I really, I have always had my respect. I've always had my respect and pay attention to their works or activities. And then just last month, June, September, they did something that caught the attention of many Americans, including me. I was really, really inspired and inspired by the actions. We all know that the Amish people, they live a very simple lifestyle, farming, with their own clothes, very conservative clothes. They don't use electricity. They don't drive cars. They don't care too much about American politics. Right? And I heard one thing that they fought for their rights, for political rights, was when the U.S. local governments wanted their children to attend school till K to 12, right? But that, is kind of in conflict with their education, kind of like a private school education based on Bible. So I think in the end, they struggled, they defied the government requirement, and then they protested. I think they won. So their case, I believe they only needed to attend school to a certain age, learning the basic math and English, and that's it. Okay. And the government let them go their own way. That's good, right? And they know that the people like them, they're very religious, very devoted religious, Christians, and they don't care too much about politics, and they don't care too much about the elections. I heard the election rate is quite low, very low. But this year, for this election 2020, is an exception, right? I read the report and also watched on my friend's video, YouTube video, that the Amish people are actually participating vigorously in this election. They mobilize themselves. They drive their horse pulling wagons, and go to vote together. Right? The reason, as from what I heard and read, is that they believe that President Trump, Donald J. Trump, his last name is Trump, and the name is mentioned in Bible. In the Bible, there are words including like a trumpet and triumph. It kind of similar to Trump, right? But somehow they realize that this is actually a hint or indication about someone who is bearing the responsibility of history and guided by divine and fighting the evil forces. Okay. Of course, these people are devoted believers. Of course, they can come out to support and vote. Okay. Now now is October, early October, and we only have about 30 days left for the election. Right? The two presidential candidates just had their first round of debate. And also, unfortunately, we heard last night that President Trump was infected with COVID-19 virus, and he's being in the process of getting recovered. Okay? In a national poll that's published in end of September, compared with the elections in the past years, American voters, showed their highest degree of attention or concern about elections, this year's election. Okay? And also this concern or close attention towards this election does not seem to differentiate between the parties, Democrats or Republicans. People from, regardless of their party affiliation, they all have a high degree of concern about the election, and I think the as much as 86 to 87% of people are saying that they reported saying by saying that they are concerned about the election, and as high as 89%, almost 90% of the registered voters said that they would go to vote. Right? So we can see that the conflict or clash between all kinds of ideals or policy platforms or campaign messages, and then we also see that people of all kinds, supporters, Democrats or Republicans, left or right, and including Amish people in their horse carriage, they're all coming out to vote or to ask other people to vote and to participate. Okay, I think the Amish people's actions, I think I'm sure surprised many people, including me. I was really hugely surprised. But then we have to think, why this election so of so much interest or concern to Americans today, right? And then even people from the world, all over the world, are paying attention to this election. Why is that? What's the centerpiece of this election? What is the election about? What's the goal or the motivation for people see involvement, in this election? Okay? I think many people realize the importance of this election. They believe, including me, I believe this is probably most important election in American history. Okay? And also the arguments or the debates, arguments, discussions surrounding this election, it actually touches upon the foundation of this country, the foundation on which this country is built. Right? And if this election goes the wrong way, and something horrible could happen. Okay? And the foundation, very foundation of America could be shaken, and American power, the health of the country or the American might be weakened, in my opinion. And so, well, if you look at the world today, the world looks up upon America for leadership, right? Without American leadership and influence, and then who is going to be in control? Who is going to be trying hard? Who is trying hard to replace America, right? There's some evil forces out there, like Chinese Communist Party, the Communist China. Well, if America loses its leadership and influence in the world today, then the world, as we know, will not exist. I'm not saying something, to alarm people. I think that's really why this election is so important. Right? It touches upon the foundation of this country. What is the foundation that this country is built upon? Right? Of course, we know, first one is the Declaration of Independence. Right? That sets this country free from the British. Right? But once the country becomes an independent country in this new world, right? And then how do we run this country? How is the country run, properly run by these people who just became independent, right? We have this constitution, right? In this constitution, right, that governs how America is run. Right? In the first paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, it says that it's the God or divine that gives up these rights, to the people of America. Right? In the second paragraph, it says clearly that it's the Creator who gives the people the rights to inalienable rights or self-evident rights towards life, property, and pursuit of happiness. I'm sure we all know that, right? Also, it is U.S. Constitution and the amendments, all the amendments that further protects the rights of our people, and indicated or lined out, spelled out in the Declaration of Independence. Okay? These God-given rights and human rights, right, and its guarantee through Constitution become makes, actually, in my opinion, makes what America is today as a center of the world. It also sets the foundation for the entire humanity, entire population of the world, and our modern civilization rests on that. Rests on that. Okay, that is to say that our belief in God, right? We believe in God, our worship of the Creator, and also the protection of the freedom of people, right? And the restriction on government powers, right? And also the free enterprise system that is built to ensure that people have the rights to life, property, and pursuit of happiness. All this together, makes America prosperous and powerful. Okay? I'm sure most of us will agree with that. Okay. So if we look at this election, this 2020 election from that angle, right, then it's easy for us to see that this election is really just an open test uh, administered by heaven or by God. Think about that, right? Do we really believe in God, right? Do we really can we really maintain our belief of the divine? Okay? Are we really following the wheels of the divine, of the God? Right? And how, to what degree do we believe in God? Right? All this, right? We can see that. We can see the degree of that, from the confrontation between the two parties, two sides. Okay? And we can see that. And of course, I read a lot of things from the Chinese world on the internet, on social media. Even people in China, they're concerned about America. They pay attention to what's going on in America. There are many Chinese people, they love America, right? They also realize that if you want to understand American election, right, understand American democracy, you really cannot, go without, paying attention to God and heaven and divinity. Yeah? And if you fail to do that, you will never be able to truly understand America. Yeah? Let's look at the first debate. The topic, 6 topics of the first debate between the two presidential candidates, President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. Okay? Over the 6 topics involves the past experience of the two candidates, right, and the confirmation or the nomination confirmation of Supreme Court Justice and Justice Amy Barrett, okay? And also the new virus, the CCP virus or China virus, the COVID-19 virus from Chinese communists, from China, and how to stimulate the economy, right? And the race and the street violence problem in America, right? Fair and just election, right? These are the topics, Mr. Chris Wallace, was asking President Trump and former President Biden, right? But if we compare and contrast the political platform, of each campaign, right? Basically, you can say the two groups here, or two sides here. Okay? On one side are the people who believe in God, right? Who believe truly devoted believers, people who are against the atheism, and communism, right? And people who are advocating free enterprise system to stimulate the economy, to ensure that people can pursue, a happy and prosperous life. And also people who respect the life, the rights to human life, and the property rights, right? And people who are for, law and order, right? All these people are under one banner on one side, right? Under another banner on the other side are people who don't really believe in God or divine beings or deities, right? They are the atheists. A lot of them are atheists, right? And some are outright working or supporting Chinese communists. And Chinese communists, we all know that they are atheists and they are anti-theist. Okay? And also they use the state powers derived from communism or socialism to actually prevent people from pursuing their personal, freedom and prosperity. Okay? And they also do not respect the rights to life of the unborn children. Okay? And some are, trying to get the wealth of other people without paying for it. Okay? And also there are the anarchists. We have seen the anarchists who showed no respect of law and order. Yeah, these are the second group of people under another banner. Right. So basically, 1 month from today, we're going to vote. Right. We're going to what we're going to see or we're going to um, confront are the two groups, right? The two sides, the two groups, right? And if you think about this, we are really choosing between the teachings of the divine or God or heaven, right? And also the giving, it was given us by the Creator, right? Or are we really following the foundations, true foundations of America, okay? And are we going to vote for all these values or beliefs, or we're voting against those values and beliefs, right? You know, so if you look at this from another angle, it's really the God or heaven or divine. They're really testing us. They're giving us a test, and we all have to make a choice, answer the question, answer the test, take the test, right? And so no matter what you do, which side do you support, which side you're going to give your vote, you know, you're really answering a test by the divine. Right? That's my topic. Right? So no matter what you believe in God, you be Buddha, or believe in Tao, or any other higher level of being or divinity, right? And deities, right? And that's something really very personal. We should keep. This is a free country. Our country is built upon freedom of religion, or freedom of belief. But what you believe, is really a very personal matter that pertains to only to your heart. Okay, and if it is so, we really that shouldn't be an issue that's debatable or that we need to argue over, right? But today we have seen that the atheists, anti-theists, they are actually attacking us, attacking our belief. If you think about this, right? Now they are actually backed by the Chinese Communist Party. That's the Chinese Communist Party is for, is against God, against deities, it's atheist, they're atheists, and they're supporting all those, atheist movements, and communism movement and socialism movement in the world today. Right? They're basically attacking, right in front of us, right, to our face, touches upon the very most, very private thing that's belonging in our heart. Okay? The future of America, the future of the world, all rests upon who's going to be uh, in the Supreme Court, right? And who's going to be in the White House, and who's going to be in the Senate and House. So, and these are all becoming very uncertain right now because our inability to answer these test questions, clearly. I think this is a really, really way to examine us, by higher life. Okay? So, but anyway, Americans, we are facing this test, a huge test, okay, an exam, right? If you think about this, the test questions, the test itself, it's open. We all see the questions, test questions, and not only that, the test answers to the test questions are also open in the open. It's wide open right there. Everyone can see, right? And also the test questions or the answers to those test questions are not even multiple choice, but just a binary. Right? It's yes or no, or that's it. Either this or that. There's no third answer or third choice. Right? And I believe the result of this test by all Americans, okay, is going to be shocking. It's going to shock the whole world and of course shock America, right? And it's going to affect the United States, affects China, it will affect China, and it's going to affect the world. So now, with this test, ongoing, uh, the people of the entire world are watching us, right? And I believe the God, heaven, is administering the test on us. Okay, that's my what I want to share with you in this episode of Opinions New by Frank. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye. If you have any comments, viewpoints, or agree or disagree with me, feel free to uh, leave them at the comment section. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.